Welcome back. In this video I'm gonna show you my service truck, and also I'm gonna show you my road when I'm driving to work on the highway, what it look like. Enjoy this video.
A family rooted deep, forced to flee. With faith in God they crossed to be free. Now thriving strong, where hope still grows. Proof that life can bloom wherever it goes.
This video, I have recorded it and over recorded it a few times because I'm not allowed to show the company's name, and I was struggling to blur it out, and now I'm making a complete new video and we will see if this is gonna work. So there is the truck. I cannot show you from the side so good. Maybe I will see how it goes. Maybe I will take a photo and then I will show you what it looked like in general. Yeah, what I want to say is this is my work truck. What I'm gonna go, they gave me an iPhone, and on the apps I'm gonna get my instructions. So I'm working from my house. When I get in the morning in the truck, I get on the app my instructions, and from my house I'm going to the different sites where I have machines to attend to fix them all over the Raleigh region, and that is how it works. I've got my tools inside, and yeah, they were, as I said, for you guys that is mechanics and road techs, they expect you to have a whole full truck, a truck like this full of tools, and they expect you to have American experience, history where you worked, and I couldn't provide that. But this company, these two guys who did the interview with me, they understood I'm coming. I came with one suitcase. They understood it. So they even arranged, I've got a $1,000 sign on what they gave me extra, and I use that to buy some tools. I haven't buy all my tools yet, because now while I'm in training in my we call it in South Africa, you do your induction. While I'm in that, they sent me to go with another guy, and I'm going to learn the area and how to work with the customers. And that is what they show me, and in the meantime I can learn what kind of tools I'm actually going to use, that I don't buy tools that I'm not gonna use. So this is very, very nice, and I must say I'm sure I'm gonna be very, very happy by this company. I haven't seen this before. Okay, that is now not South Africa, but here they gave me like 10 work outfits. I cannot say overalls, because it's overall pants and shirts like this one, and also other shirts and longbow shirts and jackets. So they gave quite a lot. I haven't seen it, that the company gives so much. I've got 10 outfits, and then also they gave me boots that looks like cowboy boots. That is the steel tip. Oh, well, I can show you. Let me see if I can show you actually. There it is. It's dirty now, but look at what it looked like. There they are. That's what the safety boots look like. Alright, so this is a F250, a Ford F250. There's your pedals. This is the park brake. It's automatic, your brake and your accelerator pedal. Imagine, you see the steering wheel is on the left hand side. Imagine what would happen if that two pedals was turned around. What chaos it would be. So yeah, let me go up and I will show you the gear lever. It's a little bit tight here, but there's here the gear lever. Let me switch it on. You will see there's your different, and there's your gears. How you select your gears. If you need to use your 4x4 knobs are here, and that is my fuel card from the company. What else? That is what it looked like inside. I even got a raincoat from them. Yeah, and as you can hear, it's V8. I cannot remember now how many liter it is, but it's a V8 petrol engine. So yeah, let me go show you what's going on in the back. Alright, yeah, I opened the doors to hide the names, and this is some of the compartments that is at the back of the on the side of the truck. It must still be rigged out, but you can see lots of storage places. Even there's some stuff here, but I still need to rig this truck out, because currently I'm not using it. I'm only using it to travel home and back. And I did bought some little tools already, and they will come as I go. It will continue. Like you can see, I've got some little tools already, and yeah, these little buckets, I was so happy when I saw it. It's got a magnet here, and then you can, when you work, you can stick it on any metal place, and when you put your bolts in there, it will stuck there. This one is just a small one, but it's very handy. Okay, that is so far. There's the wheel chocks we use, and here is something interesting to show you. This is the step. I don't want to pick this up for the name, but there's the back of the club of it, and there's a steppy. What you do here is, maybe I will put that little clip in where you put your ball, your tow hook in. Alright, I want to show you this also. Look at this tow hook. You can just take out the pin. This one is locked now there, but you take out the pin, you pull out this whole step here, and then you can put that one in there. And this is for the different sizes tow hooks you get. And another thing I want to show you is here in front, a jump place for jumper cables. Oh, and that is the other thing I want to show you. They do have the normal, look at the tow hooks, plugs. See, there it is. Look like this. And this is it seems like a standard. And then they even have this little one here on the side. So yeah, all little differences than what we are used to. Here is a portable hydraulic crimping machine. Now when I can have time, I will make a good video about this, because this will be very interesting. I only know the big bench crimping machines that's on a table. And now here on top, storage boxes, compressor air tank, storage boxes, rails, pump. I'm gonna get up now, and there's a storage tank also. Let me go up to show you better. This is a compressor generator setup. Normal petrol engine, and there's a generator, and this is the compressor. The generator, when you start this engine, then the generator is running with the compressor. And like I say, there's your pressure tank. Here I've got two separate tanks of oil, clean oil, and here is your old oil. Now the old oil, I can use this pipe. I can put it in my container where I drain the oil, and I suck it up with this pump, and then this pump will put it in this drain tank. And here I've got my two rails. This one and this one is the two rails for the two different oils that I travel with me. It's only hydraulic and engine oil that we carry with us. And then this one is your air pipe. When you want to pump or whatever, you've got your different fittings, whatever you need the air for, you can use them. So yeah, and then I'm traveling with a little steppy with me, and this one is one of those carts when you need to transport a battery or something heavy, then you put it in there and you can transport it. This is what it looked like from this side, outside. Alright, here this is the other side. Storage places. This is a oil bin. Got storage places here. Here is some storage places, and here is some storage places. This is where you have the side where you have the boxes here on top and all the rails. Here's the control panel. If you start the engine, I will not be able to start it, but because you've got the button here. And yeah, let me try and start it quickly. I have to see, I start the engine from the side, and now I will have 110 here. Look at the light is showing me there's 110. That is how nice it is. It's very, very convenient. Let me just switch it off again. There, I switched it off. This is what the strobe lights look like in the front, and this is what it looked like at the back. And this is my work lights when I work at night, and then I can show you inside the compartments. Look at the lights that is there all over in the compartments. It's very, very neat, and it looks very nice at night because you have enough light around you. Here I'm on my way home, and I want to show you a little bit of my trip on my way home.
Turn left.
Keep in mind, I'm grew up in rural areas. I'm not used to cities. So now for me, with this big truck in this traffic, in the beginning it was nerve-wracking, but I managed it, and now it is much easier for me to drive. This was, I think, the third time I was driving this road. So you start to learn in what lanes you have to be and how to read the GPS. Just look here, I need to go into this interstate. They call it an interstate. I'm not exactly sure. Interstate is like a highway, like the toll gates, like we know in South Africa. It's the main roads. So here I have to merge into this lane now. So I need to go to the whole complete left side, because now I've got 10 miles ahead of me on this stretch of road. And I've learned quickly, if you go into the fast lane, then you can put on your speed control if the traffic allow it, and then you just cruise there. Then they can, I don't care, they can pass me on the right hand side if they want to pass me, but I'm taking on my speed and then cruise control. Look, I'm looking, I'm looking now for a gap. I need a gap to go left. And there I got my gap. Still slack down, looking, there it is. And go for it. Luckily I've got enough power and I can go fast into my lane if I need to accelerate. Okay, now I'm on this lane. Notice that on the tar road there were standing no trucks allowed in this lane, so it means no semi-trucks are allowed to drive in this fast lane. So now I can just cruise on this side, and there is some bottlenecks that's coming up, you will see, where I had to go slow down or almost come to a stand on some stages, because there's a lot of cars that's coming in from the right hand side that's coming into this lane. You see here, traffic is much slower now because we have some kind of a bottleneck here. There's several stretches on this 10-mile line what you come to traffic that's come almost to a standstill sometimes. Here I fast forward the process a little bit. See, there's another line coming from the right in again. Cruising speed again, and look at that cars, how they speeding. I'm here on the maximum speed limit and they just come fly next to you. You get them. They are not very common, but you do have them. Here the traffic was slowing down significantly because of the rain, and you see quite a lot cyber trucks here. I'm on the end of my 9-mile stretch and I need to turn right here in front. So I have to come closer to the right hand lane where they come in. Otherwise I might be forced to stay on the left hand and I will miss my turn off. So you have to slow down or accelerate depending on the traffic around you. And you have to look very careful on the GPS, because you see here, I almost made the mistake and turned off here, but luckily I saw in time, I'm too early, I must turn off the next one. So now I'm going back into the traffic. On the right lane.
Then take the first right onto South Miami Boulevard. At the light, use the right lane to turn onto South Miami Boulevard toward Research Triangle.
Look how beautiful is it here. It's absolutely beautiful.
Turn right.
That was a police car that was waiting there on the traffic light.
In about 2.5 miles, turn right. Merge onto I-440 West.
Okay, look nice here now. I'm coming in, there's cars merging from the left hand side. Now there's another lane that's merging in here, and I have to be on the left hand side, not on the right hand side, because there's a turn off. Mustn't be here. So now I must turn into this. Previous time I made a mistake here. I did not read the GPS correct and I turned right there. It was a long loop I had to do to come back on my place. But like I say, as you drive the same road the same time, you start learning in which lanes you have to be.
Use the right lane to take exit 2 onto Western Boulevard.
Fast forward a little bit here. See, this traffic light is not wires that's hanging. So some of them are like this, and some of them is that the wires, the traffic lights is just hanging on, I suppose, on the steel wire, but that's basically that, and then on the cables. Yeah, I have to go to the far left again because I must turn left here in front.
Stay in the left lane. Turn left onto Du Bois Street, then turn left onto Shop Drive.
So like I always say, Google is your friend here. Without Google Maps, you are lost. You see that Jeep on the right hand side? That is a common site here where people just park on the right hand side of the road in the residential areas. And you have seen that speed hump. I want to show you, there's another one that's coming. They're not right over the tar road. You see, it's sections, and it is not little humps that break your shocks. It is like smoother, it's much easier to go over. And this is the downside to stay in a tree area. When it rains, the ground is getting wet, and when the wind comes up, there is trees falling down. And when we woke up this morning and I want to go to work, I see this tree was falling over during the night. Hoe lyk daai blou bakkie seun? This blue pickup wasn't damaged so much. Look at the size of that tree. But the main thing here is the roots are shallow. Dis kwai.
Ek het sy wortels afgebreek het.
Ja, jy sien hierdie goed het vlak wortels. This is the aftermath. This is about 3 days afterwards. They cleaned up the tree over the road, and this is what this Chef SUV. Look here, if there was people in that car, I think they wouldn't have made it. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video with me. Remember to like and comment and subscribe. That helps the channel a lot, and it helps these videos to reach more people. I see there is still some South Africans who do not know about this channel that is coming over, and I really believe, and I hope so, that these videos are helping them a lot. Be safe and see you next time.